Alright everybody, welcome back to another Xvault gaming video. Xvault here, and yes, your first dose of your weekly Salty Batch Files is here, and boy do we have some controversy going around, and we just have some just really out there thoughts and opinions over there in the Xbox community, and more in particular also a certain PC eccentric here that, you know who it is. You know who it is. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump to it. Alright, so like I was saying, let's get right to the salt. The salt mines are chock full of stuff here, but more importantly, I want to get to the video towards the end as well. But first and foremost, we have a stall here, missing one more S in his word because that's what's needed here. However, Estelle, just a reminder, and post something he already posted, has Tom Warren's picture with a clown nose, with the stamp of liar. Now, why would he do such a thing? What happened here? Well, we have a bot on bot crime here. Tom Warren, clearly an Xbox eccentric, clearly an advocate for the brand and has been an advocate for the fans and stuff, but he's been keeping it a little more real as of late. And what choice does he have? I mean, you have to call a spade sometimes. And so he's just been honest about the state of Xbox. He's been honest about, where they're heading. He's been honest about the output and everything else in between and how it's been, lackluster to say the least, and on, right? So just a little bit of context behind it, but you love to see it because they get so mad. They turn on each other so much. Somebody they put on such a pedestal, Tom Warren being one of those people they put on such a pedestal, they would do the exact same thing if Jez Corden did something similar to Tom Warren and actually kept it real for once. You would see this kind of rhetoric. They're so quick. They don't like the truth. They don't like the facts, and they will plaster you out there due to that. But that being said, let's get to our next example here. And of course, again, almost every episode we have to have Mr. Cole Eastwood available here. And as you can see, he states, now if you will, get rid of all of it and just offer Game Pass Ultimate. Xbox is explicitly trying to boast their first-party power. It should be related to Game Pass and console and PC and cloud, no exceptions or case-by-case basis. So he's ready to kind of just throw the spaghetti at the wall, see what sticks, because he's like, I don't understand it, and I understand that he doesn't understand it. Basically, nobody does. Then now you have different tiers, as we went over the last video in regards to Game Pass and how certain tiers are not having day one games, and there's different price points. The price is increased, this, that, and the other. Not that this is the worst idea to get rid of it and have Game Pass Ultimate, but also what happened to pro-consumer? You're glazing over that again. You're just running right past it. Now you are all pro-consumer, pro-price point, pro-options, but now you want to get rid of it because we want to see what sticks, right, Colt? What puts it in the limelight? Let's just get rid of the confusion. Getting rid of the confusion would mean getting rid of different models of an Xbox Series S and X and the One and the One X and all this nonsensical naming, let alone now all the BS that's coming with the different tiers and the prices and what's available on something versus what's not available on console, what's available on PC Game Pass versus, the list goes on and on. You have to do so many things to simplify it. It doesn't look like they're doing that. They're also doing the whole Amazon Fire Stick nonsense, but whatever. Do what you think's necessary, but what happened to your stance on being pro-consumer? Being Game Pass Ultimate, not giving choice, all of a sudden isn't as pro-consumer as you thought, but again, we're not going to mention that. Let's continue, shall we? Now, the catfish, Andrea Piccinini, aka Joseph Cruz, aka all that stuff. I'm going to mention it every single time like I do because those of you that don't know, yes, this is for sure a catfish that rebranded themselves, and here they are still with the moniker but with a different name. Gaming media is review bombing the first Descendant in a desperate attempt to save PlayStation with Helldivers 2 with a bunch of crying emojis trying to be sarcastic. Does anybody want to let this idiot know that the First Descendant is also on the PlayStation. I mean, why would it self-sabotage to make a game that's also on PlayStation not as appealing as Helldivers 2? Money is money. Monthly active users and sales, or microtransactions, or whatever the case is, are just those things. What are you thinking? How idiotic do you have to be? I don't know what else you're doing. Yeah, sir. What are you doing here? This is ridiculous. The amount of brain cells I lose from reading and having to read these posts and even having to reshare this with all of you out there is absolutely mind-numbing. I don't know how else to put it. Let's get over here. So, as you go down the post of it though, right? Fallen Toast. If you didn't lie so much, you wouldn't be so hated. I'm telling you this as an Xbox fan. You're embarrassing yourself in the community. They are review bombing the game for the abuse of microtransactions and repetitive quests. Helldivers has nothing to do with that or Concord. Well, I appreciate Fallen Toast's honesty. I wish more of the Xbox fan base was honest. I know a lot of you are out there, just as there are PC-centric folks that are honest, like myself, and we'll call it down the middle regardless of what we talk about here. It's a salty batch files, folks. I do understand some of you come out in the comment sections and says for a PlayStation-centric channel, you sure talk about Xbox a lot. Yes, this is the segment. This is what's been asked for by the fan base, by those that tune into this channel, and so that's what I want to provide. Simple as that. So if you make it this far in the video and you're wondering why, that's your example. Just an FYI, real quick, this is literally called the Salty Batch Files, going for the Xbox fan base because it's nonsensical nonsense, and there's not a lot of that content out there. But let's keep going. Let's get past this post here. Now they're not done here, right? They continue on, and here's another example that's great, by the way. Hellblade is trash. We're talking about the first one. Boring movie game, perfect for the ponies. I doubt it will have a sequel because nobody is playing it. But if it did have a sequel, I'm pretty sure it will be a trash, boring movie game. Foreshadowing much? Let's continue on. As you can see here, Hellblade, Xbox exclusive. The question was, which game was the best graphics you have ever seen, or that you have seen? Hellblade 2 is. There's nothing else I've seen on this level except the Matrix demo, but that's not an actual game. I don't care what mental gymnastics you want to apply to invalidate it. Wow. Wow. I don't know what else to say to that. Do you see the duality here? Do you see how something doesn't necessarily add up or stack up? It's really foreboding. It's absolute nonsense. But let's continue here. So in regards to Concord, they post out, beta players, who is your current fave? Simple question, right? Well, what do we have here? Rusco Blonde Gaming looks like a classy individual here. There's only one decent looking character. The roster is hideous. I am shocked. So I've been a nastiest girl here. Bish? They said favorite character when it comes to playing, not what you'd be your D tier, basically. And a small one at that. I love the rhetoric there, first of all, so quick little clap there. And they're absolutely right. I mean, why are we comparing the looks? And I understand you got to be kind of aesthetically pleasing to a point, but why are you putting so much emphasis on the looks of the characters rather than the gameplay, rather than everything else? And honestly, I don't have an issue with how most of them look. I'm sure not every character in any game is going to be the most aesthetically pleasing to you or whatever the case is, but these are graphics. These are digital content and digital, people, right? I mean, they're far removed. This isn't even a live action movie, folks. I mean, this is based off of characters created from whatever, right? Absolutely crazy there. A weird instance, if you will, there. But let's round up here. Another one from Colt. We're going to bounce all the way back to him. Now, we're back on the roadmap talk, right? As you can see, Colt Eastwood, PlayStation has no roadmap, so everyone is clinging to the Xbox to provide games. Wow. So, PlayStation has no roadmap. You need a roadmap. What games, aside from Hellblade 2, at this point in time during this recording, do you have and you're available to you that you're playing? I don't see you playing Starfield. I don't. The only thing I've seen you play is an old-ass game at this point that's old enough to be called an old-ass game, and that's Fallout 76. What else are you playing, dude? Because you sneezed and Hellblade 2 was done, so to speak. But you want to know about a roadmap. There's stuff to come. It's been heavily rumored once again that the PlayStation Showcase, not State of Play, but Showcase, is indeed coming this September. Take with a grain of salt, but it is a lot of rumors and a lot of insiders actually stating this, and it's going to be early September, right around September 5th from what I understand. That being said, I would maybe zip your mouth because, again, you're going to insert that foot sooner than later. We only got, at this point in time, less than 2 months away. I would maybe keep it a little zip tight. Just a little bit of zipperoo. Just a little bit. But actually don't, because you help provide content for the channel, so keep making yourself look like a dumbass, and we'll continue to have that great mutual partnership, so to speak. But that being said, folks, let's go over to the video that I've been mentioning since my last video I want to go over to. So before I even talk about it, I'm going to show you it. It's about 2 minutes long. If you want more context, watch the whole thing. You can kind of fast forward some of it or whatever, but about 2 minutes long. But go ahead and take a look from our favorite PC eccentric. Oh no, it's Alex.
What? Do you know what this is telling every single person, Sony and PlayStation? You know what this is telling everybody in these 177 countries that cannot purchase the video game that you want to sell them, that people actually want to buy? And you're basically telling them to go ahead and pirate it. Go ahead. Take it. We don't care about the money. We don't care about the sales. We'd rather have the monthly active users instead of actually just getting the money from these countries. You could simply just not add the multiplayer component. You could simply say, hey, your region cannot have this sort of actual multiplayer component. Here's a single player part. There you go. Here's your $70, $60, whatever. You could have just done that. People would have still bought it. You would have had a few refunds, whatever, but it's better than having every single country, pretty much just half the planet, can't buy your video game. You'd rather have the monthly active users for that setup instead of actually just getting money for the game. Here's the deal. If you were going to buy Ghost of Tsushima, don't. Pirate it. If you've already bought Ghost of Tsushima, refund it. Do it. Just get rid of it. I am very lucky that my community bought me a copy of that game, and I will be testing it, but once I do, it is being refunded immediately. So yes, I will play that game for a few hours, make a video, make revenue off that video, then refund the game and send the money back to the person who bought it for me, so that way they can get their money back. I can make the revenue off the video, and I can say fuck you to Sony. Let me know what you guys are gonna do with Ghost of Tsushima. You're gonna go ahead and pirate it like I recommend? I recommend you pirate it. Go ahead, take it. If Sony doesn't want your money, they don't deserve it then either. That's my motto. But after you pirate it, let me know what you guys think in the comments section down below. Is Sony going to keep doing this? I think so. And if they do, you know what? They don't deserve our money. Simple as that.
All right. So where do we begin with this, right? It's that always that white knight mentality that there are the knight in shining armor protecting gaming as a whole. Sony's so bad. Sony's so awful. He's talking about Ghost of Tsushima in general here, right? He's talking about how basically he's upset. I feel like he's coping. He's upset that Ghost of Tsushima has been successful on PC. You are happy that PlayStation games are on PC. But you're unhappy about it having to have a PSN. You're needing a PSN in order to play the game like it's the end of the world. I don't know. People take gaming as some folks take gaming as a necessity. Gaming is a luxury, first and foremost. And I'm not saying I don't want everybody to game. I want everybody and their dog to game if they possibly can, but this has been announced way in advance that there's going to be PSN IDs needed or created to play PlayStation games. They rebutted what happened with Helldivers 2 because all the backlash, and I understand and I agree they should have rekindled that because they did not follow through. They did not, basically hold their own there. They didn't have the best addressing of that. They didn't have the best information in regards to how that's going to work. You can't just release a game and then backtrack and then go ahead and say, look, we need you to have a PSN ID. I totally understand that, and I totally understand that there's not PSN IDs able to be created in all parts of the world. I understand that, but again, in regards to Ghost of Tsushima or anything else, whether it's Horizon, whatever the case is, this was announced way in advance, and now he's trying to sit there and say, no, don't play it. I've been gifted it. And then once that's done and I do my review or I do this or that with it, I'm then refunding it and blah, blah, blah. Like, who cares, dude? It's already successful. It's already successful. Your word of mouth isn't going to take real gamers and say, hey, we're going to replace or refund this game or whatever the case is. It's already done. I don't see a lot of folks refunding this game. An amazing game is an amazing game. And again, gaming is a luxury. It's not a necessity. It's not food. It's not water. It's not gas. It's not housing. It's not a bed to sleep in. It's none of those things. It is a hobby. It is a luxury. Just like any other hobby is out there. Whether you like classic cars and want to build them, whether you're, big into fishing, you're big into bowling, you're big into whatever kind of sports, pickleball, tennis, whatever the case is, whatever your hobby is, with pop vinyl collection, if it is comic collecting, card collecting, whatever your hobby is, it is considered a luxury. That's just how it is. Now, the fact that you're just making such a case, like I said, Knight, Shining Armor, here we are, don't buy this game. You're porting a game. I'm sure they get their money's worth. Whether you believe it or not, if you can provide the data stating otherwise, I'm pretty sure they get their money's worth. Sony's the bad guys, but Xbox is just fine because it works for you because you can play those Xbox games to your liking on your PC. It's a little more fluid, all that stuff, I get it. But how ridiculous is this, folks? I mean, I can't state it enough. You act like you're a good guy, trying to tell people what to do. People want to play a good game. Simple as that. Simple as that. I don't know what else to tell folks because Ghost of Tsushima is awesome. If you haven't played it and you were holding off for the PC version, you've yet to purchase it, and you can purchase it. If you can make a PSN ID, it's a small price to pay. For those that can't get the game because of country issues and things aren't available for PSN IDs, I do apologize. I wish there was a way around that. And I'm sure those of you out there that can do it, there are ways to pirate that stuff. I don't condone that, obviously, but there are ways around it, I'm sure. But again, acting like Sony isn't needing the money, I don't know. Oh my gosh, they're acting like they don't need your money. They don't want your money. I mean, I just think of him just shouting in the streets in medieval times on some sort of dirt road, like, don't do it. Some conspiracy theorist dude out there. Absolutely insane to me, but whatever the narrative is, he's so anti-Sony, it's just pathetic at this point, and acting like he's not pro-Xbox in every faucet to the imagination here. But hey, it is what it is. I'm sure I'll get another video made about this, calling out the facts. So by all means, please do. But anyways, folks, I do appreciate the exposure there. So thank you so much when you do that, Alex. But anyways, what we'll do here is we'll wrap up the video. Just wanted to share that all with you. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you stuck around for the entirety of the video, thank you so much. If you haven't already, definitely leave a like, comment. That does help you out with the algorithm so much. Plus, I love to hear from you all, of course. And if you haven't already, definitely consider subscribing, helping out a small content creator like myself. That being said, enjoy the rest of your day, everybody. And just remember, don't be a salty batch. And we'll see you all next time on the next Xvault gaming video. And until then, take care.